Good morning. Today you are tackling ELDT with Infinit-I. My name is Kimberly.
And my name is Crystal.
First thing we would like for everyone to do is set their chat to everyone so that we can see the questions and answers that are coming in throughout this webinar. Okay, everyone. So on February 7th, the FMCSA mandated entry-level driver training regulations. So what this means to you, if you have drivers that are obtaining a CDL for the first time, upgrading a CDL, or seeking an endorsement, they will need to complete the theory curriculum through an FMCSA registered training program. The good news for you is Infinit-I Workforce Solutions is a registered and approved theory training provider. And as an Infinit-I client, you have access to our ELDT curriculum with no additional cost. We can also transmit theory training records to the FMCSA registry for you, so you don't have to worry about keeping up with the documentation, but we'll discuss that a little later on in the call. The first thing we'll do for you is show you how to set up ELDT. You have a CSR, and they'll need some information from you. We'll send you over a user list, and on that user list, we will require you to have the first and last name, and it must match the name on the CDL permit. We'll need a date of birth, the license type, the license number, expiration date, state of issuance, classification, and any endorsements. Now, this is optional to you, so you don't have to enter that if you don't like. So let's go in here and set up a user.
Okay, when you're setting up a user and you're working with your CSR, you may get, if you have a bulk upload, that CSR user list that you would need to add those additional users, more than one, more than two. When you receive that user list, go ahead and fill out all the information that is needed to set up an ELDT student. What we're going to do is start from a manual perspective. So if you want to get in here, you only have one from time to time. You'll come in and select add a new user. When you add a new user, everything with an asterisk needs to be filled out, and then we'll add the additional date of birth. So let's go ahead and say, since we're tackling ELDT today with Infinit-I, Foot will be the first name, and you probably guessed it, Ball for the last name. For the username, we will do FBALL. For the password, we'll do something simple, FOOT. For the date of birth, I'll select something fun. Let's go back to the 90s. So we'll do it for today, and we will go for 1995. Coming down, we have a student profile. We don't want them to do anything more and nothing less. We'll click Save. Once the profile is created, you come over to groups. We have two groups, but in this case, I just want to add this trainee to the ELDT group. We will slide that right over to the selected section here. And now we'll look up and reach for the stars and say assignments, certificates, classroom reports, addresses, no way, licenses. So you'll come over here and we will go ahead and add a license for this user that says commercial driver's license, CDL with state. If you do not see this, please reach out to your CSR. Let them know you do not have any options or this option is not there. And then they will go ahead and follow the procedure to get this dropped in, because this is the one you'll need for transmission. So I'll go ahead and select that, put in some numbers here. Let's make the expiration date something close, like today, because they waited too long. And the state, I want to go to Hawaii. Why not? Permit is what everyone, we would like to see them start from, but a lot of users are not starting from there. They're starting from their general license, which is Class C. So go ahead and select that Class C. The endorsement is none in this case, but if you do need to select those, as Kim said, there are various and you can select the ones that you do need. So don't forget to save. Save, save, save. Once you save, you will have that license there and you are complete and ready to set up an assignment. Are you ready, Kim?
Let's go. So we'll go to create an assignment and you'll click on assignments. Then you'll do new assignment. We already have selectable templates set up in the system for you. So you hit the drop down arrow and you can see those templates for Class A, B, P endorsement, and S endorsement. So we're going to set up ELDT Class B. Anything with an asterisk has to be completed. You will enter the driver's name. And then you'll go to the start date and the end date. So I want to make sure that you know that this is very important. So if they already have a permit, you want to keep their expiration date in mind when setting up this assignment. or you can give them 30 days. It's your preference. And the FMCSA requires them to have this completed once they begin the assignment within 1 year. We have the grade set up as a passing grade of 80. We require this because the FMCSA requires it to pass with an 80% or above. So each assignment is set up as a passing grade of 80. If they take a test and they pass with a 70, they have a 75 on there, it is considered a fail. So they'll have to go in there and retake it. It has to be an 80%. And then you'll click next.
Now that you click next, you have completely closed the description field, okay? You are inside of the add content field. You do not need to add any additional courses, and you do not need to remove any other pieces. Everything you need for Class B and any other package that you select is here and ready and waiting for you. We're gonna scroll down all the way to the bottom and hit next, all right? Now that add content section number 2 is complete, we are entering into number 3. Number 3 is the add user, add groups. So if you sent that user bulk upload list to your CSR, this is where you'll come in and say, I want my ELDT group to be a part of this selection for this entire assignment. In our case, we did not do a bulk upload user list. We are only doing this for one user. So that one user will be football. I'll drop down users and select football. Here's football to the right. I'll scroll down and select next. Once we get to the next section, we will see that these are for notifications. All of the templates are already preset with the user selections to be new, overdue, and reminder. Reminder is 7 days before this assignment closes. So on April the 1st, they will get a notification to their email or text number that says, you need to get in and complete your training, and it'll also have a live link in there to help them get over a lot more efficient than them typing it in. If they are overdue, that's the day after. In this case, it will be April the 9th. New means in a couple of hours, once this assignment is published, they will receive that email or that text notification. I will highly recommend as a CSR to select the complete and overdue, or go ahead and update your template for this notification selection for complete or overdue. So let's go ahead and add those notifications. The great thing about the complete for all admins is you do receive the assignment certificate without having to dig for it, okay? Let's go ahead and finalize this assignment by clicking the Make Assignment button. If you find out at the end when you close number 4, you do not have this button, please go back, enter into these previous selections by selecting Edit, update anything except Add Content, and scroll down and see if you have that Make Assignment button. If you do not, screenshot it or type up a quick email. Let your CSR know so we can get that published for you and made correctly. So assignment published, I am at my assignments listing again, and as you see, I have football here with a Class B assignment. Of course, there are other assignments, but I want to show you, if you have a user that not only needs Class B, but also needs the P and S endorsement, go ahead and create another assignment for P and S endorsement. So you'll have 3. As you see for entry level here, this training has 3, so P, S, and Class B. I don't want you to forget and not make those assignments, and then your user only has one section, okay? So let's go ahead and go over to user management so I can show you entry level. This user has all 3, okay? We're coming over to classroom. And as you'll see, they have Class B and P and S endorsement, okay? From here, you can see that in the status, these have not been attempted. We would like to review this user just so I can show you how things will look from this view when you are looking for this driver to complete this assigned training. So inside of Start Class, for the classroom assigned, I have a failed here. If someone fails, that's perfectly fine. Let them know that they can click that and restart that training. If they have an incorrect summary result, have them select that incorrect summary result and review it. You can review this with them as well. The questions here are the actual questions that they have gotten incorrect, but the answers are the correct answers. Once they review this, they can go back, start that training again, and finish the quiz just like before in hopes of a completion, and that would be great if they did. If they have this yellow continuation button that you are viewing from their profile, they can log back in, start this training from as close to their bookmark as possible, and then they will complete it, take the quiz, and hopefully get that passing rate. What we're looking for is a completion all the way down the line for every single section for the ELDT training, okay? There is 2 pages inside of a lot of these sections, so have them go down and check to be sure that they are fully complete. Green means go. I'm going to select the back button, and remember, this is only entry-level driver class B. Inside of this section here for P and S, those are separate sections. They must complete all sections at a time. So class B to go over and transmit, then P to go over and transmit, and then S, as they are finished, will go over and transmit. Okay, the last thing that I'd like to show you on this particular profile is the certificates. So as a user, they'll click certificates and they are able to get each piece from their assignment that they are done with. So let's look at a user that is complete with their training and how they will view those certificates, okay? What I'm going to do is go over here to user, and I have a driver trainee. So we have switched profiles. We are going to look at the classroom. Here in the assigned classroom, it says no data available in table. That view means that this person has no content in here to view. Go ahead and select completed and you'll see their completed list of training. Once they get here, they will click certificates and each one is here for them to pull and do as they would like for their certificates. But as an administrator, you may not want that view, and that's perfectly fine. Come up top, click certificates, and you will have the actual downloaded data where you can view that certificate, and not only view it, download that certificate. Now, Kim, what happens if a user is not getting their data transmitted in the appropriate time?
So if their data isn't transmitted, that means a couple of things. We're missing some information, whether it's their license, their date of birth, or their first and last name does not match on the permit or the driver's license that you all submit to us. We like to let everyone know that when they are complete, their information will be transmitted over to the FMCSA site within 48 hours. If you send us a message and say, hey, driver training has completed their training and they completed it on Monday and it's Thursday and I still can't see it, I will receive an email telling me that they've completed, but we're missing some information. So we would check to see what we're missing. And in this case, as you can see, there's no data available for their license. So that tells me they're missing their license information. I will send you an email and tell you that I need you to go in there and input that information, or you would need to send me back that spreadsheet so that we can input it. Once we get it into the system, we can let our team know and we'll get those records transmitted over to the FMCS site within 48 hours. That's why it's really important to make sure you send us all of that information when you set a driver up for their training. Otherwise, it will hold them up and their records will not be transmitted within 48 hours.
So if you would like to see how that transmission is complete, we do recommend that you go over to the FMCSA. Here is a what do CDL applicants need to do, and that third section you'll see for complete training. You can check your training record. Kim, what does this mean when we click that?
Once you click on this information, you'll go in, you'll put all of their information that it's asking for, and you're going to certify that you can view this information. Once you click on there and you view their information, that means they have completed everything and it's been transmitted over to the FMCSA site. And they're done, and they can go to the DMV and do whatever that they require there in your state. All right, so that pretty much wraps up the ELDT portion of the training. Does anyone have any questions? Just put them in the chat and we'll scroll through and get those answered for you. Let's see here. So on draft means if it is in draft status, that means something is missing on the assignment. Whether maybe you forgot to add a user, you didn't put any content, that just means something is missing. You'll just go in, click the edit button, review and make sure you have everything completed with an asterisk, make sure you've assigned it to a person, and then click make assignment. If you continue to have those issues, just contact your CSR and we'll walk you through the steps and see what's missing. It can also go into draft status if you were to go in and edit the assignment and you click the back button. You have to always hit make assignment each time you go in there, whether you're editing or whether you are going in and creating a new assignment.
So I wanted to show from a visual look, Kim, I'm so happy you said that. If you are inside the assignment, I do see where you're asking about the draft. If you select that pencil, you can edit. Now go ahead and do that so you can visually see what this means. Kim already let you know here that with the draft, it pulls it out of the classroom. So what I've done for football is drafted that assignment, but I click that pencil and I'm just going to make that assignment. Draft means that person is not able to take that course. So you want to make sure that it does say active and see that they've started that material. But Kim, I have another question for you.
Okay.
It says on one of the questions, is the completed ELDT training in their resource tab?
Yes, anything that they complete will go to their resource tab once they're finished. We showed you when we set the assignment up, the box for assignment and resource is always checked. So that means once they complete the assignment, it automatically goes over to resources. And Crystal has that view up for you now. All right. Oh, Crystal, we have another question. Let's see here. Does a user need to get their CDL permit from the DOT first before doing the ELDT training? What is the best practice steps?
Okay, so of course, we always go back and look at the federal website when we want to see what selections like that, because that can be a pretty heavy step to make sure that that person is doing the correct sequence of events. From our perspective, it is best for us, for most people, when they're entering that license information, for the person to come in either way. So as you saw here, when we're adding that license and it has this commercial driver's license, I'm going to select that edit pencil so you can see. We have the classification for a general license, which is a class C. But remember, if this person is starting from this area where they're taking their theory portion and then they're behind the wheel portion, in between that space, just like a sandwich, it'll end up being where they have to go back, get their permit before they'll do their behind the wheel. So in this case, for us, for Infinit-I, it is perfectly fine for them to start class C or with permit. Now I'm looking at another question that says, next to, let's see, if the completed ELDT, let's see, I want to make sure I understand it first. Give me 1 second. Kim is asking.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I'm so sorry about that. So this one, we have another question. When you are complete with all assignments, where do you print for records to put in the driver's file? So we showed you earlier, you go to user management and you will click on view. The blue eyeball is your best friend. And you will go over to certificates. And those are all their certificates, and you just click their certificate download, or you can view details, certificate view, and you can print them that way.
Now I do show here, and I'll kind of drag this down so you can see this is the view, but you can download there or print directly from this screen. I want to bring out, someone said, can we repeat the last thing? And there was a lot of last things. So we went over certificates here. And then we also looked at licenses with that class C or permit. And that's here on the ending license tab. And then around the time that I see that that went through, it looks like it may have been when we were looking at assignments in draft. And so the last thing coming from here, we went from the training TPR website where you will check the record if that went through. And we came over here with that, one of the earlier questions of, if it's in a draft, what does that mean? So if any of those questions, if you'll re-type a specific point, then we'd be happy to go back through those.
We have another one. Can you repeat the entering or checking report to the FMCSA?
Okay, entering or checking the report. Kim, can you help me understand? I don't
So
know
I
what they
guess we're
mean.
going to the training provider registry, that site. So that's the tpr.fmcsa.dot.gov check. And so you would go back to the home screen.
Of the federal website or here? Is this a good space?
Let's see here. Go back to the training provider registry
Okay.
and go back to their home screen where we clicked on to get here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So you will scroll
okay.
down.
I'll take you. You'll see a 3 portion when you're looking it over. Hold on one second. Let us get here. Back here, you'll come from a step of checking the actual registry, and it'll bring you here to this, and you'll have the link sent already in one of the previous emails that came out from our site. But if you need it, you just reach out to your CSR, and we have this link saved up top, which will have that selection where it says check your registry.
Okay. Thank you, Crystal. Let's
Mhm.
see. Do we
I
have
have a
any
question for
more?
you, Kim. Someone asked, will ELDT cost extra if we're already a member?
No, ELDT is currently with your plan. If you're already a client with Infinit-I, it is with your program that you already have. You just let us know that you are interested in getting those templates turned on. Let us know if you want us to transmit those records for you, and we'll get you set up.
Okay. And I'm just going to scroll just a little bit. If you'll give Kim and I maybe 10 seconds here, I want to make sure we don't miss anyone's question here. Okay, so Raymond, what is FMCSA and what are we responsible for reporting to them? And Kim, I'll let, if you don't mind, if you'll start the answer to that question and then I'll pull us up the screen.
It looks like, let me see here. It looks like Jeremy answered it for him in the chat about what is the FMCSA.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. So he gave him an answer. Raymond, did you see that? Let's see. I'll give him time to see if he did. Okay,
Yes,
yes,
he said, okay,
perfect. Thank
good.
you. We did have another question from Miss Rowena. She wants to know, my current list students is
Mm-hmm.
getting really long. When will these names drop off?
Okay.
Okay, so what you need to do with that, Miss Rowena, is send that request to your CSR. They can send you a user list from our system. You highlight who needs to be removed, and we'll get them removed for you.
Okay.
All right.
And I have one more from Sarah. Hi, Sarah. Does the theory and the behind the wheel have to be submitted at the same time? And are they two separate entries? And I do see that an answer came through. They are considered to be separate requirements, so they can be submitted at 2 different times. All right. So Kim, I believe that kind of wraps us up.
All right, everyone. Well, congratulations to everyone.
Yay!
You have now tackled ELDT with Infinit-I.
Okay, resources will be provided with the replay link via email, so please look out for the resources in the replay so you can pass it out like candy. If you have any questions remaining, please contact your CSR for any assistance that you may need.
Let's see. All right, so once again, my name is Kimberly.
And my name is Crystal.
And thank you everyone for your presence today.
And for taking the initiative to tackle ELDT with Infinit-I.
Have a great rest of your day.